Get you set for
News with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
I can't wait for tonight. Team USA again. Amanda already got us tickets. Going again tonight.
Same.
Are you?
As well. Yep.
Are you?
So
awesome.
Two games we're both.
Two games that we both go to. It's so much fun. If you haven't gone, you need to go to the Women's World Championship. It's so much fun.
Yes, Team USA is fantastic.
Oh.
I was not expecting the team to be that good. Obviously, I expected to be good, but they were
It's
good.
incredible. It's
Yes.
incredible.
And the atmosphere is great. And of
Oh.
course, you're rooting for not only the city of Utica, but the country itself. And it's great seeing all the national coverage of these networks. The advertisements recorded at the Aud.
Yeah.
A lot of national stuff going on this week. But look at those current conditions this morning as you head out the door. Well, we're dealing with some spotty snow showers. We're still stuck in this somewhat wintry weather pattern. The worst of the impacts, as we said, occurred yesterday morning. The forcing of this system is pretty much well off to our east, meaning that any snow and rain that does fall will be weaker in nature. We still could see some light accumulation on some of those outlying roadways, but the treated roads and lower elevations should be okay for the next few days. In fact, you can see there in Oneonta, there was some snow, but here in the Mohawk Valley, looking pretty dry. Temperatures hovering right around 31, 32 degrees in Rome, Hamilton, and Binghamton. And over the next 12 hours, we warm back up into the mid to upper 30s. Some spotty snow showers give way to spotty rain showers as we warm above freezing throughout the afternoon. Heading into tonight and tomorrow, we're still dealing with unsettled weather, but we've got nicer weather on tap for the second half of the weekend. We'll talk about that in our full weekend forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. The IIHF
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. Happy Friday. Time now for the Munson Commute Cast as you take a look at road conditions as you head to and from work today. Great news along the road side of things. You can see here roads a little wet, but a huge improvement compared to yesterday. For example, Route 8, Route 20 Bridgewater connection yesterday was ice and snow covered, arterial a bit snowy, I-90 down to one lane, and you can see these drive times again greatly improved compared to yesterday, right down to the average time we usually see an I-90 18 to 21 minute drive time, then arterial around a 5 or so minute drive. Heading along 5S east and west, Utica to Mohawk, and of course Utica to Rome. Average drive times there between 50 and 55 and east to west of 5S, and 63 miles per hour average speed along Route 49. And lastly, Otsego County drive time average 35 or so minutes from Cooperstown to I-90 along Route 28. And finally, Route 12, 790 to Remsen. Drive times looking pretty average. Heading to work today, outlying side roads and back roads could have some snow and some slush on them, but main roads are treated and they're pretty okay. And this afternoon, we're dealing with some lingering rain showers, but there shouldn't be no impact expected to travel as you head home from work. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. This week's violent weather has led to
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. The weekend is upon us, and we're still dealing with this cloudy, rainy, snowy, windy weather pattern that will still linger at least for most of today. A live look at downtown Utica. It's a bit damp out there. Roads are wet. You're seeing those passing overcast clouds, and some spots even seeing some light snow showers as of this morning. And on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we can see how spotty some of these snow showers are. In the Mohawk Valley, relatively dry, but as you head south, for example, down to Oneonta, and I would think right closer to Edmiston, looking at a few scattered snow showers taking place. Those temperatures today starting out right around 32 degrees. We warm up into the mid to upper 30s this afternoon. The winds remain a bit breezy again, but again, we're not looking at damaging winds like what we saw on Wednesday. Regarding rain and snow chances, well, pretty much throughout the day today, we're in that on and off rain snow pattern with overcast skies expected. And as we head into the weekend, Saturday unfortunately does not look too much different. A little warmer, but on and off rain and snow showers are expected throughout the day. the things, at least the low pressure system, eventually pushes east and we dry up. On Sunday, warming up too, with highs in the low 50s and partly cloudy skies by the afternoon. An update on the eclipse cloud forecast. Well, you're probably seeing this and panicking if you're planning on going outside, wondering, well, it's going to be overcast. Well, these clouds moving in on Monday are going to be way up in the sky, and they're going to be that thin type cloud that doesn't really block out the sun too much. So even though some of our long-range forecast models indicate some cloud cover, it shouldn't impact our viewing too much, but we're going to follow, see exactly how soon the clouds do arrive, if any, eventually obstruct our view. And heading back to our forecast for the next few days, we're still dealing with that low pressure out to the east, but notice beyond the next few days, it still remains pretty stubborn. Wraparound rain and snow showers lingering into the early parts of Saturday, but following Saturday night, things eventually do dry out. And so in our Skycast, on and off spotty snow showers throughout the day today. Heading into tonight, on and off snow continuing into the early morning hours on Saturday. We warm up above freezing in the valley, and the snow showers are coming a lot less strong, especially in the higher elevations, with the rain showers taking place in the lowest elevations. And again, today we're talking about temperatures starting out in the low 30s, on and off rain and snow throughout the day today. Tonight, cooling back down into the low 30s with conditions drying up a little bit, but we're still going to be seeing some on and off snow and rain until later on Saturday. 7-day forecast. We've got clouds lingering to the start of Sunday, sunshine peaking out by Monday morning for those clouds. High-level clouds move in by Monday afternoon into Monday evening. And regardless of whether we're seeing rain or snow by the middle of next week, it's going to be warmer temperatures in the 60s.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, a bit of a contrast.
Spring's finally here. Spring is finally, hopefully, here.
I'm not sure we're going to go back into our third and fourth false spring yet. But
Yeah,
we're going to see how this
You never
plays
know.
out.
You never know. You just never know. All right. Thank you very much, Eric. Well, this year's hurricane season is shaping up.
News with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
A little bit foggy out there this morning, as you could see. Some low clouds and some snow showers around, too.
Yeah, and that's the case, too. We've got those low-level clouds, some snow, keeping things a bit damp, a bit unsettled for today. And compared to yesterday, a huge improvement on the roadways. We're not looking at any major travel impacts out there this morning. But again, it is still damp. It's still blah out there. It still feels a lot more like the winter we never had. Look at those current conditions out there on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are looking at some spotty snow showers here and there, primarily in the southern valleys. Mohawk Valley drying out a little bit, but we are seeing some light mist, light drizzle, and otherwise overcast skies. The wind's not too bad this morning, but they will gradually pick up as the afternoon continues on. But again, we're not looking at anything damaging like what we saw on Wednesday. Around the state, those temperatures in the 30s, 30 in Hamilton, 31 in Rome, 31 down in Binghamton. And over the next 12 hours, we climb into the mid to upper 30s with some on and off rain and snow showers throughout the day. We're not going to be exiting this weather pattern at least until the very latest Saturday evening, Saturday night, before things dry out for the second half of the weekend. We have a look at that full weekend forecast, plus what to expect regarding cloud cover and weather for Eclipse Day on Monday straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. At least 28 people.
Welcome back. The time now is 5:40, and of course it's Friday. It's time now to showcase our weather photo of the day, and this one is a great shot of what we would have typically seen throughout the winter. We haven't seen a whole lot of these shots because we haven't seen that much snow. Well, here's a great photo submitted to us in Cassville of a snow family. A great job to the snow men and women in this picture right here. If you want to submit a photo like this one, although it might be a little bit more hard now with the snow continuing to melt, send it at WKTV.com/weather/pics at the link at the top of your screen. Be sure to include your name as well if you do want credit in these photos. Regarding those current local conditions, its temperatures are starting out right around the 30-degree mark. Radar seeing a few spotty snow showers, and it's still remaining a bit unsettled for the daytime today. And again, regarding those temperatures, 32 Whitesboro, 32 Little Falls, 31 in Hessville and Cooperstown, in the upper 20s up in the North Country, 28 degrees in Inlet. We're going to be still stuck in this cool, breezy weather pattern today. A little bit warmer tomorrow, but still looking unsettled. We got warmer and nicer weather on the way as we head into the second half of the weekend and the start of next week. We'll talk about that in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, I think a good picture that would be current for the snowman would be just a puddle on the ground.
Well, yeah, I guess with now the snow melting, yeah, just a puddle.
All right, thank you very much. The Statue of Liberty was hit by a bolt of lightning on Wednesday night. This happened about 6 o'clock. The photographer got this shot. Incredible image capturing the lightning striking the Statue of Liberty's torch. A countdown now to the total solar eclipse. 3 days.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, welcome back. It's been feeling a lot like winter time in these past few first days of April, and a live look at downtown Utica right now. Well, we're still dealing with some cloud cover, damp roads, overall pretty unsettled conditions. Some locations seeing some light snow this morning, but overall we're going to be feeling like this weather at least for today and the start and middle of tomorrow before things eventually warm up and dry out. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are seeing here a few spotty snow showers in parts of the southern valleys south of Route 20 and just some light drizzle taking place near the surface in the parts of the Mohawk Valley. Those temperatures hovering right around 31, 32 degrees. We warm up into the mid to upper 30s this afternoon. Winds remaining a bit on the windy side, especially between 2 and 3 p.m. Not looking damaging. But it's enough to produce temperatures feeling a little bit cooler. As a matter of fact, a look at those feels like conditions. Temperatures will only feel like the upper 20s to low 30s for today. Tomorrow, a little bit warmer with on and off rain and light snow under mostly cloudy, if not overcast skies. Then on Sunday, we gradually dry up and we are starting to see partly cloudy skies by the afternoon, with temperatures climbing as high as the low 50s. And a heads up for those of you going out to view the eclipse, a reminder that most of the lower 48 in the U.S. in the path of totality might be on the cloudy side, and central New York might be one of the best spots in the country to see the eclipse, which is good news for us, but it's also good news for anyone else in the country that wants to see the eclipse. So we're thinking that there could be a surge of a lot more visitors to central New York, and the roads could get a little bit on the congested side. But if you live here, especially in the path of totality, we're going to be seeing good viewing. Some mid-upper level clouds will push through the area, but they shouldn't be blocking out the sun all too much. Just some faded sunshine at most. Bigger picture, we've got low pressure surging up the northeast. Wraparound snow showers and rain taking place from this system, both for today, tonight, and the early part of tomorrow, before things eventually wind down by tomorrow night, overnight, and into early Sunday. And then zooming in, temperatures today, again, climbing into the mid to upper 30s with on and off rain and snow showers throughout the day. Got northwestern wind and temperatures cooling down in the low 30s overnight tonight with a few lingering spotty snow showers heading into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures today climbing into the upper 30s with some on and off rain and snow showers. Tonight, we're back down to the low 30s as we are yet again still seeing some pretty unsettled weather. Your 7-day forecast, it remains a little bit warmer heading into Saturday and Sunday. 55 the high on Monday under mostly sunny skies. Clouds move in during the afternoon and evening before we are tracking a return to some more unsettled weather by the middle of next week. Still pretty warm though. Temperatures upper 50s, low 60s.
Wow. All right. So looking a little bit better. That's all we can ask for, I guess. All right. Thank you very much, Eric. The time now, 5:51, still ahead on Sunrise, Utica.
With Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
A lot to get to this morning, starting out with some snow still falling around the area. We can see down in Oneonta a little bit foggy, so some low clouds. How's the rest of the day looking, though, Eric?
It's looking a bit similar to what we're seeing right now. Warms up into the mid to upper 30s, so a lot more rain will mix in. Similar to yesterday, how that snow that was falling was It was wet. It wasn't really quite snow. It was melting as it hit the windshields, it hit the roads. And something surprising that happened yesterday is we had some locations that saw pretty significant snowfall rates, but you looked at the time lapse and the snow was actually going down.
Camden was one of those places.
Yeah, and it was pretty interesting to see that with how warm the surface temperatures were, that the snow was coming down heavier, but the snow was melting a lot faster.
Yeah.
A look at those current conditions out there this morning. As Ben mentioned, live look at Oneonta, it's a bit foggy, a bit misty, a bit damp, and there's some snow showers taking place in some locations on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. And we're not quite done with this unsettled weather pattern yet. An upper level low is still clinging on to parts of central New York, and it won't be really exiting our area until the later half of Saturday. But following that, we are tracking warmer temperatures and drier weather. But on the temperatures map right here, we're still looking at temperatures in the 30s, 30 Hamilton, 31 in Rome. Again, we're going to be climbing above freezing for today into the mid to upper 30s. The winds pick up too. We're talking about 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. Nothing damaging, but again, we're still in this breezy, cool, unsettled, damp weather pattern, which will linger for the remainder of the day today. Again, rain and snow showers this morning, this afternoon. Heading into tonight, same story. And as we head into tomorrow, unsettled weather. But we'll have a look at that when the dry weather begins to arrive, plus the eclipse forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast. It's never more than 10 minutes away. The IIHF Women's World
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. It's currently 6:11, and it's time now for the Munson CommuteCast as we take a look at road conditions as you head to and from work today. First off, a live view of road conditions all across the Utica area and I-90. Way better than what we saw yesterday morning. The Route 20, Route 8 connection in Bridgewater looking much nicer, a lot less ice and snow on the road. Same thing for the arterial, the Route 5 and 12 connection, Tennessee Street in Utica, near New Hartford, and of course I-90, more than just one lane open compared to yesterday. So again, huge improvements regarding those road conditions, and of course, huge improvements regarding travel times. Yesterday, I-90, a bit of a congested slowdown, same thing for 5S, but you can see here a much better difference here with those drive times looking much more like average. 5S eastbound and westbound, average drive time of 16 to 18 minutes from Utica to Mohawk. Same thing for Route 49 from Utica to Rome, 10 to 11 minute drive time there as well. Finally, Cooperstown to I-90 along Route 28, things are looking pretty okay. And lastly, 790 in Utica to Remsen and back, the drive time looking pretty okay. Heading to work today, there is some patchy fog, pretty damp conditions out there with some light rain and snow. Overall, not too bad of a start today, and it's looking even better for this afternoon with no real travel impacts expected with some spotty on and off rain and snow, which should melt before it reaches the roads. Ben?
Thank you very much, Eric. This week's violent weather has led
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. The weekend is upon us, and unfortunately, though, it feels like we're going to be seeing a lot more like this weather for the start of the weekend, but we got good news regarding nicer weather for the second half of the weekend. A live look at downtown Utica right now. It's damp, it's cloudy. We got some light mist, light flurries and snow showers taking place, but I want to take a quick minute to emphasize a traffic pattern for those of you who haven't gone to any of the IHF games yet at the Aud. Something to note. You notice here, the left turn lane here is closed. Both roads, for example, on either side of the Aud are one-way streets coming this direction. Point the thumb the right direction that way. You can only go straight, turn left, go all the way down there and head to the parking lots in the back. But again, these roads here and on the other side of the entrance, front entrance of the Aud, are one-way streets. Just a quick traffic reminder before you head out if you're going to the USA games tonight. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We're seeing a few spotty snow showers taking place across the area this morning, and those temperatures hovering right around the 31, 32 degree mark as we warm up into the mid to upper 30s by this afternoon under breezy conditions. Wind speeds roughly between 10 and 15 miles per hour throughout the day today, with rain and snow chances pretty much on and off throughout the morning and afternoon as well. Tomorrow, again, it's going to be a bit on the unsettled side, on and off light rain and snow. In the valleys, more on the rain side, as those temperatures in the valleys do climb as high as the low to mid 40s. Warmer weather arrives on Sunday. We dry up too, with partly cloudy skies expected by the afternoon. And then following that, looking at nice weather expected for the total solar eclipse. Now, on this map here, you're seeing some clouds that you're probably thinking might be overcast. Well, these will be thin upper-level cirrus clouds from an approaching low to the southwest, and these typically don't block out the sun too much. We're thinking hazy, faded sunshine at most. As long as this system primarily sticks south and west of us, we could be seeing a very nice viewing of the eclipse. The accuracy level, of course, getting higher and higher as the days do get closer. We're getting a lot more data. We'll have even a better accurate forecast of Monday's cloud cover as we head into Saturday night and into Sunday. But for the near term, we're looking at that low pressure out to the east coast, producing some snow showers up in Maine. Unfortunately, though, lots of power outages, 250,000 power outages taking place in both Maine and New Hampshire at this point. Here locally, outages going down farther and farther, negligible outages at this point here in the 3-county region. You can see here unsettled weather continuing for the next few days before things do eventually dry out by Sunday. Skycast showing some on and off snow showers throughout the day today. Temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 30s. Same thing for tonight. We're still going to be stuck in this unsettled weather pattern as temperatures do climb into the upper 30s for today, but we're back down into the low 30s as we head into the overnight hours tonight. Your 7-day forecast, it calls for 40s for Saturday, 50s for Sunday, mid-50s for Monday, 60s for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So this warm-up returns. We're not in the 30s long-term, and it's looking a lot nicer as we head into the middle and end of next week. Still dodging some more rain showers, but
That's expected.
April showers, not so much April snow showers.
No, yesterday was April snow showers.
Yep, so.
All right, thank you very much, Eric. Well, this year's hurricane season is shaping up to be one for the 2024. Good morning, Central New York.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Yeah, it's weird. You look on the tower cam, excuse me, of course we're up here atop Smith Hill, so we're in the clouds. Down in Oneonta, a little bit clearer.
A little clear, yeah. It's still unsettled. There's some snow taking place here and there. We're in this damp, cool, windy weather pattern that isn't really going away, at least until the very latest Saturday night. So we're going to be dealing with this at least for today and a little bit tomorrow. But look at those current conditions. First off, in Oneonta, a live view from the tower cam atop Hartwick College. You can see that the conditions are drying up a little bit. There was some misty conditions earlier on, and some of the snow is winding down briefly. As I take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we are tracking some isolated snow bands here and there. And as we zoom out a little bit, we can see the overall weather pattern still favoring some spotty snow showers as we head throughout the remainder of the day today and into the overnight hours tonight. Regarding temperatures, in the 30s in Rome, 31 officially, 30 degrees down in Hamilton. Over the next 12 hours, we actually warm up into the mid to upper 30s, so some locations will still see some snow, others will see some light rain, or like we saw yesterday, a mix of the two, wet snow falling, barely accumulating on the ground. But regardless, we remain in this damp, windy, and cool weather pattern heading into this evening and tonight. Then tomorrow, a little bit warmer, but we're still tracking unsettled weather. But the good news is that we're going to be seeing dry weather move in Sunday, and just in time for the total solar eclipse. We're going to have a look at the latest cloud forecast as well as what to expect for the temperatures and everything else for at least next week straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. At least 28 people have been...
Good morning, welcome back. We are showcasing our final weather photo of the week this week, and what a better way to wrap it up is with a great creation submitted to us from folks in Cassville. 3 snowmen, a snowmen family taken right here. Great building right there. And I would say submit more photos like this one. However, it's going to be a lot harder and harder for accumulated snow on the ground to be enough to produce something like this. But great creation by that girl right there. Fantastic. It's a beautiful snowman family and snowwoman family right there. Submit photos, for example, of other last-minute winter-like photos that we have across central New York as the snow continues to melt, or any other photo that you think showcases the beauty of our local area here in central New York to the link on top of your screen. A live look at the Yorkville Battery, Storm Tracker 2, live radar. A lot, at least better conditions compared to yesterday morning. Roads looking a lot cleaner. And of course, the snow much less widespread. We're still dealing with some spotty rain and snow for the morning and afternoon today. And those temperatures starting out right around 30, 32 degrees, upper 20s in North Country, warming up into the mid to upper 30s by this afternoon. Following this, we've got slightly warmer temperatures by Saturday and a warm up as we head into next week. We'll talk about all that in detail straight ahead. Ben?
Thank you very much, Eric. The Statue of Liberty was hit by a huge bolt of lightning on Wednesday night. This was about 6 o'clock. The photographer got this incredible shot, capturing the lightning striking the Statue of Liberty's torch. Countdown to the solar eclipse.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. Something to add on to that with that morning mug club as well. Adirondack High School so far. Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis and I will be there viewing the eclipse. We'll see if we're going to go live there for our News Channel 2 at noon show on Monday. And of course, be there with all of the folks in Boonville witnessing the spectacular total solar eclipse. Can't wait to see you guys there. Downtown Utica right now. Cloudy skies, a bit damp out there. Roads looking, again, damp, but nowhere near as impactful as yesterday with some of that widespread wet snow. And those temperatures this morning across the area are still in the 30s. 31 with Todd out in Westdale, Bob and Clinton with 31, Mike in New Hartford with 32 degrees. Bill in Old Forge 25, Sean Inlet 28, into the south, Stuart in Cooperstown with 31 degrees, Tom in Lawrence 32, Scott in Evanston with 30 degrees, same with Diane in West Lawrence with 30, and then Mark in Milford with 32 degrees. And on the radar, we're still seeing unsettled weather with spotty snow showers here and there throughout the morning and afternoon. And those temperatures do climb from the low 30s this morning to as high as the mid to upper 30s by this afternoon. It's going to be a cool and windy day today. Wind speeds roughly between 10 and 15 miles per hour. The highest winds are expected between 2 and 3 p.m. as winds will gradually decrease heading into this evening, with rain and snow chances pretty much on and off throughout the day today, heading into tonight and of course for tomorrow. Unsettled start to your weekend on Saturday with on and off rain and snow, temperatures climbing as high as the low to mid 40s. A little warmer for Sunday, and it's actually drying up as well with partly cloudy skies expected by the afternoon and temperatures climbing as high as 50 degrees. And an early heads up for those of you planning on viewing the total solar eclipse. Well, so the latest model guidance indicates that we're going to be seeing some high in the atmosphere clouds, and this shouldn't impact viewing too much. Maybe some light hazy conditions way up in the sky, but the concern would be is if we see more low-level clouds, which will block out the sun a lot more. And so far, we look to be in the clear for that. Most of those clouds tend to stay way south of Erie and Jamestown, while here locally we could be seeing again some high-level cirrus clouds. But back to the forecast for the next few days. Low pressure, that nor'easter continues to move up the northeastern coast, but the wraparound rain and snow showers will still linger for today, tonight, and pretty much most of tomorrow. We're not going to be exiting this pattern at least until the very latest tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. But so far, again, tomorrow, at least for Sunday, is looking a lot nicer. Skycast showing some spotty rain and snow showers across parts of central New York today. Temperatures in the valley climbing in the mid to upper 30s. So if it does snow, again, like yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, it'll be very hard for that snow to stick on surfaces. Then by tomorrow, highs in the low 40s in the valleys, upper to mid 30s in the higher elevations, with some spotty rain and snow showers still lingering before coming to an end by tomorrow evening. A recap. 30s, mid-30s late this morning, into the upper 30s by this afternoon, with on and off rain and snow. Tonight, we're back down into the low 30s under mostly cloudy skies with, again, a few spotty rain and snow showers. 7-day forecast. Breezy the next few days. We dry out by Sunday and into Monday. So far, so good for viewing of the total solar eclipse. We got some high-level clouds we're dealing with, but so far it looks even nicer regarding those temperatures by next week, with highs back into the upper 50s to low 60s by Tuesday.
Love to see it. You love to see it. Those 60-degree temps. Absolutely love it.
Feeling a lot more like spring.
It is. Thank you very much, Eric. The time now 6:51. Still ahead on Sunrise. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
A lot to get to this morning, but first, the biggest thing, the weather. How's it looking out there?
Well, it's looking like what we saw yesterday afternoon. Not so much yesterday morning with the impact of the travel. We're dealing with some spotty rain and snow showers, misty conditions. It's damp, it's cool. It's going to be windy for today. Feeling a lot more like, I would say, early to mid-March with the weather we're seeing, this, at least for this morning, this afternoon. Look at those current conditions out there. First off, a live view of Oneonta from our tower cam atop Partway College. We're seeing a pretty cool scene out there with a dusting of snow over a lot of locations. And on the Yorkville Battery, Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Some spotty, lingering snow showers as that low pressure system off the coast is still influencing our local weather here. Way more dry compared to yesterday, but it's still going to be producing some unsettled conditions here locally. 32 degrees officially in Rome, so we're finally above freezing. 30 though in Hamilton with some light flurries, and 31 degrees down in Binghamton. And over the next 12 or so hours, we're talking about some spotty snow showers giving way to some spotty rain showers in the Mohawk Valley, while locations in the higher elevations could still see some lingering light snow. And today, it's cool, it's windy, it's damp, and tomorrow a little warmer, but the same story pretty much. Following that, though, we've got nicer weather on tap for the second half of the weekend on Sunday. We'll talk about that, plus the all-important total solar eclipse forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Thank you very much, Eric.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. The weekend is upon us, and we're tracking yet again more unsettled, snowy, rainy, breezy, and cool weather for today, as well as the start of the weekend. But we got good news regarding the weather for the second half of the weekend and into Monday of next week. Downtown Utica right now, damp roads, misty conditions with some spotty snow showers falling in parts of our local area. And those temperatures are hovering right around the 32-degree mark. 31 with Todd out in Westdale, 31 with Bob and Clinton, 32 with Mike in New Hartford. Up in the North Country, Bill and Sean, both in the 20s, 25 in Old Forge, 28 Inlet. Jeff and Mohawk with 32 degrees. And to the south, Stewart and Cooperstown, 31. Mark and Milford and Tom and Lawrence both at 32. And Diane and West Lawrence and Scott and Emerson also with 30 degrees. And the radar, it's looking a bit more quiet this morning, but we still could see additional wraparound rain and snow showers throughout the morning and afternoon as those temperatures do climb into the mid to upper 30s. But you factor in the winds, which will be a bit breezy. Wind speeds roughly between 10 to 15 miles per hour. Windiest time of the day between 2 and 3 p.m. It will feel a little cooler with those feels-like conditions in the upper 20s. Look at your weekend forecast. We've got on and off light rain and snow for Saturday. Overall, pretty unsettled. Temperatures climbing as high as the low to mid 40s. Then for Sunday, it's looking a little bit nicer as we gradually dry up under partly cloudy skies by the afternoon and evening with highs in the low 50s. A heads up for those of you wishing to see the forecast for the eclipse. Well, we got good news. Even though this diagram here showcases clouds over our area, these clouds will be thin coming in from the southwest, and it shouldn't block out the sun too much. Generally speaking, we could be seeing maybe a light layer of clouds way up in the sky. But the good news is that any of those thicker clouds generally stay to the south, and we'll of course provide updates as we get a lot more high resolution data coming in over the weekend. But for now, even though we have some high clouds moving in, it should be okay to view the total solar eclipse. But back to the forecast for today and at least the start of the weekend. Low pressure continuing to shift through Maine, but we're still seeing these wraparound rain and snow showers, which will linger both for today as well as tomorrow. And on our Skycast, you can see here, most of those snow showers will fall in the highest elevations, where those temperatures are right around freezing. Mohawk Valley climbing as high as the mid-upper 30s, so the snow will very likely not stick to any surfaces. Best chance of that will be the overnight hours, those lows fall near freezing. Then by Saturday, temperatures climbing into the upper 30s to low 40s with spotty rain and snow showers. Again, a recap for today. Temperatures in the mid-upper 30s with rain and snow showers throughout the day today. It's spotty, it's light, not looking anything major regarding accumulation. Over the next 12 hours tonight, we cool back down into the low 30s under mostly cloudy skies with on and off rain and snow. 7-day forecast, warming up to the 50s and 60s by next week.
We actually just got an emergency alert on our phones from New York State Emergency Management, and for those of you that may not have received it, I'll read it verbatim for you. An earthquake occurred in New Jersey. The earthquake has been felt throughout New York State. Aftershocks may occur. Call 911 only if you or others are injured or have an emergency. Again, that emergency alert just coming through about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, and this earthquake, it's surprising how it works sometimes because you said you didn't feel it. I didn't feel it.
No.
So a lot of folks did feel it. Some people in the same areas, the same towns didn't feel it. So it's been a hit or miss.
And you know, it's funny because we had one up in Watertown, I want to say February or earlier last year. And I didn't feel it either. I was in the newsroom. I did not feel that one.
Same. I did not feel it. I feel like I'm just unlucky with feeling these earthquakes. But yeah, we had a magnitude 4.8 earthquake. It occurred in New Jersey. In fact, there's a look at the epicenter and how far away it is from us here in central New York. And overall, again, it was a 4.8. So it's a bit stronger than typical. We don't see a lot of earthquakes, typical earthquakes here in the local area over the past several years. And look at the radar. We're still dealing with some snow showers and mixing in with some ice and sleet here and there. But again, surface temperatures near the ground are above freezing. In fact, 37 degrees in Rome, which is going to prevent any accumulation from sticking on those roadways. You can see a wintry mix falling in other locations north and south of the valley. And over the next 12 hours, temperatures hovering in the mid to upper 30s with on and off rain and snow continuing into the overnight hours. We're still stuck in this unsettled weather pattern until the very latest by tomorrow evening before we're tracking some sunshine and warmer temperatures on the way. Full forecast on that straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. It is day.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Happy Friday, everyone. We are still tracking some snow showers across the area. Let's take a live look in Cooperstown right now. A few flurries falling. Some locations seeing slightly heavier snowfall rates, but a reminder, we are still above freezing, so a lot of those locations are not expected to see any form of accumulation at this point. The radar, as you can see here, a lot more snowfall south of the Mohawk Valley, south of I-90, into parts of Madison, Shenango, and Otsego counties, while areas north seeing some on and off light flurries throughout the day today. It remains unsettled for this afternoon, this evening, and overnight, with on and off rain and snow lingering into the first half of the weekend on Saturday, with highs in the low 40s. But we got better news for warmer temperatures on Sunday. We dry up with partly cloudy skies by the late afternoon, early evening, and highs approaching the upper 40s to as high as the low to mid 50s. The eclipse just a few days away, and with it, our initial cloud forecasts, at least since this past week, have called for mostly sunny skies with some high-level clouds. And so far, we're still on point with experiencing upper-level clouds being the most we'll be seeing here locally, as any chance of the clouds being at least covering the sun. The impactful clouds, I should say, those thicker ones near the surface, are looking to be well out to the south and to the west. But you can see here, plenty of clouds in the sky southwest of central New York. But again, these are thin and they shouldn't impact viewing too much. Bigger picture, low pressure is moving its way up the northeast into parts of Maine, but the upper level low attached to this is still bringing some scattered on and off snow showers with rain mixing in. And this will be the case for today, tonight, and for most of tomorrow before things eventually do wind down by tomorrow night. Skycast showing some on and off snow showers throughout the day today. Temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 30s, already currently in the upper 30s in the Mohawk Valley. Then by tomorrow, you can still see on and off rain and snow showers. Eventually, things do dry out just in time for Sunday, as some sunshine could peek out as well heading into Sunday afternoon. But your 7-day forecast, we're calling for breezy conditions both the rest of today and into tomorrow, with temperatures warming up a little bit on Saturday afternoon. Sunshine moves in as we head into the eclipse day on Monday, and following that, 60s approaching Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
Welcome back. We're recapping our top story here at noon. A magnitude 4.8 earthquake centered in New Jersey, about 45 miles west of New York City, was felt up and down the East Coast, including right here in central New York. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the 4.8 quake was centered near White House Station, New Jersey. That tremor felt from Maryland to New York to Maine. The shaking caught on cameras in Highland Mills, New York. There have been no initial reports of major damage. However, ground stops were issued at Newark Liberty International Airport and John F. Kennedy International Airport. According to the FAA's website, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has activated its Emergency Operations Center. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said the quake was felt across the state. Her team is assessing any damage that may have occurred. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And, you know, earthquakes are fairly uncommon here in the Northeast, but when they do happen, even the small ones, they're felt for a wide area. Why is that?
Yeah, and you mentioned before, it's not common to see earthquakes, and this one is a bit of a stronger one by northeastern standards, but obviously it's not a very strong one, and it's due to the fact that in the Northeast we have older, denser rocks, which carry those waves a lot farther, which is why we experienced it as far north and west as the Mohawk Valley. And again, this is a very uncommon event, and the fact that it's closer to a very populated center in New York City is something that usually the Northeast doesn't typically see. A live look at the Earth Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We have a slot of completely clear conditions here with some clouds, but overall pretty dry in the Mohawk Valley. Areas north and south seeing some snow showers at this point. And this will be the story for the rest of today, tonight, and into tomorrow, as on and off snow showers are expected, along with rain mixing in, and with those temperatures hovering above freezing, currently at 34 in Hamilton, 37 degrees in Rome. It gets very hard as we enter mid-April to have snow stick, even during the daytime, even when snow is falling, as that stronger April sun above the clouds warms up the surface enough to prevent any real accumulation. Next 12 hours, you can see here, unsettled throughout the afternoon, evening, and overnight tonight. But we're tracking when this comes to an end and when some sunshine moves into our area. We'll talk about that in detail straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. An engine fire forced the crew of a...
News with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. If you felt the earth shake this morning, you're not alone. A magnitude 4.8 earthquake was centered down in New Jersey, about 45 miles west of New York City. It was felt all around the Northeast, including here in central New York. It's our top story this Friday afternoon. The earthquake shook the densely populated New York City metro area around 10:23 this morning. The U.S. Geological Survey says the magnitude 4.8 quake was centered near Lebanon, New Jersey. It's about 45 miles west of New York City and 50 miles north of Philadelphia. The USGS figures indicated that the quake might have been felt by more than 42 million people. Governor Kathy Hochul is briefing the media as we speak. So far, no reports of any major damage or injuries.
This is one of the largest earthquakes on the East Coast to occur in the last century. So I immediately directed my emergency management team, the second we received word of this, to start doing damage assessments. Any life in danger and finding out whether there's any bridges or tunnels that are compromised. I also immediately spoke to Governor Phil Murphy to offer any assistance and to find out what is happening in his state, which again was the epicenter. Our teams have been in constant communication with the mayor of New York. We also spoke to the MTA to ensure the integrity, the structural integrity of the subway system, the Port Authority, and I want to announce that right now JFK and Newark airports are on full ground stops to assess any potential for after effects. And we've been in
Again, luckily, no injuries or damage reported here in New York. We took a number of calls into our newsroom this morning as soon as people felt that quake. Here are a couple of the folks that called in, one from North Utica and one from Marcy.
I'm sitting in my chair in North Utica, watching TV, and the TV shook back and forth, and I looked up, and then the lamp was shaking as well.
Well, I was on my computer, and it just, the monitor started shaking. I looked into where I do my laundry room. I got some bottles of water there, gallon bottles of water. They were shaking, the water inside them. My fiance, she was woken up by the shaking. Yeah, no question. Fish tank, the water in the fish tank was moving around pretty good. This one was long-lasting. It probably lasted a good minute. Enough to get your blood pressure down, that's for sure. And at times in the past it's shaken, but nothing like this. I mean, this was...
And if you would like to share your experience from this earthquake this morning, just head to our website, WKTV.com. We're going to be continuing to follow this story. We'll have more tonight on the Live at 5 News Hour and News Channel 2 at 6. Meanwhile, at this hour, rescuers in Taiwan continue to...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. Friday is here. The weekend is just around the corner, and so far it's seeming a bit like more like, I would say, mid-March, early March, with these temperatures, the wind, the clouds, the snow. In fact, alive like in Cooperstown right now, we're seeing overcast skies, some bands of snow pushing in and out of parts of central New York. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We're seeing on and off snow showers taking place right now. I want to take a quick look at what's called the correlation coefficient, because you can kind of see where some sleet is mixing in as well. In fact, I'm going to move the map around just a little bit so I can get a different radar to the south here. And we can actually see some of that sleet mixing in, both the Albany radar and the Binghamton radar. You can see those lighter yellows indicating mixing taking place at this point. So it's not all snow, it's ice, it's rain, it's everything, but it is melting before it reaches the ground. Those surface temperatures are still above freezing. We're expecting unsettled weather to continue into Saturday. Temperatures reaching a high of the low to mid 40s. Following that, though, even warmer weather is expected on Sunday. But the good news is we actually dry up, and all these clouds and winds eventually do come to an end. But a heads up for those of you who are heading out, taking time off, or just in the place where you are and just want to look outside your window and see the eclipse. The good news is we're still tracking light clouds. These clouds will be thin, way up in the atmosphere, and it might cause a hazy viewing, but that looks to be the most as of now. Any impactful clouds that will block out the sun entirely look to remain well south and west of us at this point. We'll continue to track this. Of course, we'll have updated forecasts tomorrow, Sunday, and of course Monday morning. But just a heads up that we are so far so good for viewing the total solar eclipse. Bigger picture, low pressure off the northeastern coast at this point, continuing to surge up into Canada, and regardless, we are still seeing wraparound rain and snow showers into central New York, which will linger not only for this afternoon, but also into tonight and most of tomorrow. But again, following that, things do dry out as we approach Sunday. And so on our Skycast, we're talking about on and off rain and snow showers for today. Tonight, same story, on and off snow, temperatures cooling down a few degrees in the valley to right around freezing. So in places that did see some snow melt, watch out for some icy spots on those hilltops. But again, by tomorrow, we warm right back up again into the upper 30s to as high as the low to mid 40s. And eventually, the rain and snow winds down. 7-day forecast. We warm up into the 50s by Sunday, 55 the high on Monday with mostly sunny skies throughout the day. Clouds increase throughout the afternoon. Partly cloudy for Tuesday, high 62, and those 60s continue for Wednesday and into Thursday with highs approaching the upper 50s both those days. So it's feeling a lot more like spring as we approach the middle of next week and saying goodbye to 30s and snow and winds.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Definitely. 100% I'll take it.
Yeah, especially for April standards.
Yeah.
Let's see more April-like weather.
I agree. All right. Thank you very much, Eric. Now we turn to the excitement over Monday's total.
With Kristen Copeland.
The earth moved, buildings shook, and the newsroom phone rang and rang. An earthquake struck New Jersey at 10 this morning, and we felt the tremors here in central New York. It is your top story tonight. The event was 260 miles away. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, it was a 4.8 magnitude quake. We took calls from viewers ranging from Dolgeville and Herkimer to Whitesboro and Rome. No reports of major damage, but the governor says everything is being checked.
Assessing all state roads, Commissioner Dominguez is taking lead on that, making sure our state roads are safe. Major transmission lines and dams, because you don't always see the effects of a small crack that actually could develop into a real major problem. And we're also encouraging all the municipalities throughout the state of New York to assess for any structural integrity concerns.
The governor also recommends checking your own home for damage, walls, floors, staircases, and the gas and water lines. Time now for our first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis in the Weather Center. And what an event. I'm telling you, the phones went wild this morning. I almost didn't believe it because I didn't feel it myself.
No, I didn't either, but a lot of us did. And, you know, what's kind of scary about all this is that, you know, it's a magnitude 5 where we start looking at damage. So we got really close. It's about as big of an earthquake as you can get before you get into that category. So we definitely lucked out there. We are looking at unsettled weather here across upstate New York, still dealing with clouds, snow showers, rain showers. This weather pattern is going to persist into the start of the weekend. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. And again, it is still looking unsettled. The current temperature is 41 degrees. Windy out there. The good news is that the weather is going to change as we head into the weekend. It's still going to be cloudy and breezy and unsettled on Saturday, but a noticeable change in the weather for Sunday as high pressure builds in. And this sets the stage for some nice weather heading into the solar eclipse. We've got to look at the cloud cover forecast coming up. Rain, snow showers this evening, temperatures in the 30s. Again, taking a look at that weekend forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Bill, thank you. 3,800 homes in the town of Webb right now are in the dark.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Happy Friday. The weather looks better as we head into the weekend. It's been a rough stretch of weather this week. Clouds, snow showers, rain showers, and a lot of wind. We'll see more of it tonight as we take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's looking busy here, but this precipitation is generally light. Rain and snow showers continue tonight with surface temperatures above freezing, even with snow showers around. They're likely not to stick to the roads. Roads are expected to be generally wet as we head into tonight. More of the same tomorrow, but with less wind, slightly less wind, I should say. It's still going to be a breezy day and chilly with temperatures in the 40s, but a little bit warmer than today. Sunday, that's the day where things really start to change. Less wind, partly sunny skies, a much more pleasant day to be outdoors with high temperatures close to 50 degrees. And again, the winds will be coming less over the next couple of days. Light winds here expected on Monday and Tuesday. Local temperatures, West Berlin 41 degrees, Dolgeville 39, Little Falls 42, Sherburne 39 degrees, Cooperstown 37. Low pressure continues to spin to our east. It's weakening, it's lifting to the north and east. And again, eventually the weather will improve. It's going to take another 24 hours before that storm really starts to lose its influence in our local area. Tonight, again, scattered snow showers, little accumulation is expected. Overnight lows drop down into the low 30s. Cloudy skies on Saturday with on and off rain and snow showers. More of these fall as snow showers and rain showers. Again, little accumulation expected, high temperatures in the low 40s. The weather starts to change Saturday night, partly cloudy skies, and we should see some sunshine here on Sunday as high pressure builds in from the north. And again, the weather does look pretty nice, warmer, and again, less windy with high temperatures near 50 degrees. On Monday, the stage is set for dry weather across the Northeast. The one thing we're watching, high clouds. Now, when you're looking at a weather app or if you're looking at a forecast, you're looking at cloud cover, keep in mind a lot of those apps don't differentiate between high clouds and low clouds, and that matters. High clouds will not block your view of the sun, and we'd be able to see the solar eclipse with high clouds, and that's the forecast for Monday. The thicker clouds are located in extreme western New York, and they've been there, and we don't have any concerns for those moving in on Monday. But again, we'll continue to keep you updated. The timeline here, a little after 2 o'clock in the afternoon is when the eclipse begins, and the maximum eclipse is around 3:25. For some of us, it's totality. For those of you that are south of the region of totality, it'll be a dim day. Some of us, again, getting a real treat with big changes in light here around 3:25. Snow showers tonight, low of 34. Snow and rain showers tomorrow, 44 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Gets warm. We're in the 60s, 65 on Tuesday. That looks to be a nice day. And though the weather looks unsettled again Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it doesn't look anywhere near as chilly. Finally heading towards spring.
All right, I like the sound of that, Bill. Thank you. President Biden is in Baltimore let's get you back to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Talking about the solar eclipse on Monday, the path of totality. This is a look at the places and times that we'll see that. For most of us, it's between 3:23 and 3:24. The totality ranges between 30 seconds to as much as almost 3 minutes. And that's just based on how close these locations are to that center point of where the moon crosses. And for most of us, it should be a pretty good showing in the path of totality, again, happening for most of us just for a few minutes. That, by the way, those are the times where you can take off your solar glasses to watch the event. If you're not in the path of totality, you got to leave those glasses on the entire time. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Scattered rain and snow showers continue this evening, and that will be the case heading into tonight. A little chilly out there for the dog walk, but the dog probably doesn't mind. Tonight's featured dog, Duke from Mannheim. This is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. Nicer weather for the weekend. We've got to look at the weekend forecast coming out. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. Utica University is getting a slice of 13.6.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're still tracking unsettled weather as a nor'easter very slowly moves up the east coast. It's a lot weaker than it was yesterday, but let's take a look at what's going on. On and off rain and snow showers continue, and like today, tonight we're not expecting much accumulation. A lot of this melts as it hits the ground. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, on and off rain showers, temperatures stay above freezing as we head into tonight. We'll be in the low to mid 30s overnight. On Saturday, breezy conditions and a continuation of rain and snow showers, high temperatures in the mid 40s. Sunday, that's the day the weather changes. We'll finally break free of this very cloudy and cold weather pattern. We'll see high temperatures near 50, less sunshine, less wind, more sunshine. And there's some good news. It looks like this weather pattern is going to continue into the solar eclipse. Once the sun comes out, it looks like it's going to stick around for a couple of days. Live looking downtown Utica, is that blue sky that I see here? That might last for a couple of minutes here, but for the most part, it's cloudy out there. Sky watchers checking in. Whitesboro, 37 degrees, Forestport, 36. You got a chilly day across the area. Mohawk, 39, Inlet, 31. Westford, Dave checking in with 37, Carroll and Worcester with 36. Again, low pressure situated off the coast, continuing to spin and weaken and bring a continuation of clouds, rain and snow showers here tonight, tomorrow, and again, things start to change by Sunday. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, scattered snow showers overnight, little accumulation expected. Overnight lows drop down into the low 30s. Cloudy skies tomorrow, slightly warmer than today, but not by much. Looking at some on and off rain and snow showers, temperatures again in the low 40s. Tomorrow night, the weather starts to dry out. We clear out for Sunday. High pressure drops in from the north, less wind. We start out near 30. We'll climb to near 50 degrees in the afternoon. It should be a much nicer day to be outdoors. Again, this weather looks to continue into Monday, the solar eclipse. We're calling for cloud cover, some high clouds. High clouds are not expected to block our view of the sun. We should still be able to see this event across central New York. The thicker clouds are making their way into extreme western New York, so out towards Buffalo and Rochester. Some of those high clouds may impact viewing, but locally we think we're okay. We'll continue to keep you posted with anything. Nothing's changed, by the way, with the forecast here for the past couple of days. Those of you in the path of totality around 325, with the moon completely blocking the sun, you'll be able to see planets. This is a look at some of the planets you'll be able to see: Venus, Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter here for a couple of minutes in the afternoon. Snow showers tonight, low of 34. Tomorrow, snow and rain showers, 44 for the high. Stern Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, dry, sunny weather Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and it warms up. Temperatures next week climb into the 50s and low 60s, with rain returning on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll be right back.
With Kristen Copeland.
An earthquake in New Jersey at 10:23 this morning was felt in several areas of central New York, including Utica, Marcy, and New Hartford, also Dolgeville, Herkimer, Ilion. It's the strongest earthquake to hit New Jersey in 250 years. And as you can imagine, the impact was felt hard in New York City. The earthquake reported on national television. We took calls from viewers this morning. No reports of major damage, but the governor says everything is being checked as a precaution.
It's been a very unsettling day, to say the least. But the White House offered any assistance. Senator Schumer reached out, offered any assistance. So right now, it's most important that we have our structural teams out there, our engineering teams, surveying our bridges, our roads, any area there could be a fault line that is not easily detectable, to make sure that passengers on our rails as well as our commuters are safe.
The governor also recommends checking your own home for damage: walls, floors, staircases, and gas and water lines. Let's get you over to the Weather Center and talk more with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
So we're tracking unsettled weather across central New York tonight. We're still seeing that area of low pressure to our east, and that's still bringing us clouds, showers, and this is falling as both rain and snow. The weather isn't going to change very much over the next 24 hours, but things are going to change by Sunday as high pressure builds in. So we're tracking against chilly weather. 41 degrees is the current temperature. That west-northwest wind, 16 miles an hour. Rain and snow showers continue through Saturday. High pressure builds in on Sunday, and that's the catalyst that sets the stage for change. We're expecting some sunshine, warmer temperatures, less wind on Sunday, and if things go well, we should be able to see the solar eclipse in central New York. The one thing we're watching, some high clouds that look to spill in from the north, and we'll talk about how that could impact viewing locally coming up in just a bit. Rain and snow showers this evening, temperatures in the 30s, again tracking the weather heading towards the solar eclipse coming up. Kristen, back to you.
3,800 homes in the town of Webb were in
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Before we jump into the weather, just wanted to get something that we just came across for the USGS. It's the agency in charge of keeping track of earthquakes. There was an aftershock that took place at 6 o'clock down in New Jersey that was measured at a magnitude 4. So that was less than what we were experiencing earlier today, but that's something that you might have felt here just a few moments ago. And again, aftershocks are very common after earthquakes, after bigger earthquakes, and in fact, aftershocks could be continuing here as we head into the next couple of days. Let's take a look at the weather locally. We're tracking rain and snow showers across New York State. Again, a lot of this is not accumulating. That will be the case tonight and tomorrow. As an area of low pressure, a nor'easter sits off the coast, we'll continue to see a few scattered rain and snow showers here through Saturday. Saturday's high 44, breezy conditions. A lot nicer on Sunday, return to sunshine, less wind, and warmer temperatures. Live look at downtown Utica, temperature 40 degrees. Our sky watchers are checking in the 30s. New Hartford 40 degrees, Fairfield 37. Old Forge 34, Milford with 37 degrees. Scattered rain and snow showers continue, again, as low pressure sits off the coast of Maine. It's going to weaken over the next 24 hours and lift to the north and east. And our weather will slowly improve. Not tonight, though. On and off snow showers, little accumulation. Overnight lows drop down into the low 30s. More clouds, more wind, more rain and snow showers for Saturday. High temperatures climbing to the low 40s. The weather does start to dry out Saturday night. We should see a few breaks in the overcast. That sets the stage for some sunshine on Sunday. Temperatures start out below freezing, so we could see some patchy frost. But Sunday should be a lot nicer, sunshine, less wind with high temperatures near 50. The eclipse forecast, we're looking at some high clouds on Monday. These should not be thick enough to prevent visibility. We should be able to see the solar eclipse here in upstate New York. The one spot we are watching is to the west, where the clouds will be a little bit lower and thicker. That would be out towards Buffalo. But again, locally, things are looking okay. And again, a reminder, in the zone of totality, that's where we see the most dramatic drop in light during the peak of this event, which is around 3:23 to 3:25 for most areas. And again, if you're in the zone of totality, you should be able to see some stars in the middle of it. That'll be wild. Snow showers tonight, low of 34. Tomorrow, looking at snow and rain showers, still breezy, a high of 44. Storm Tracker 2's 7-day forecast. The weather improves Sunday, looks pleasant. Monday and Tuesday and warmer. Monday's high 55, we're up to 65 on Tuesday. Rain and snow showers return Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So looks like we're going to luck out. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, worked out well. Bill, thank you. Still to come here on News Channel 2 at 6.
Earthquake in New Jersey was felt here in central New York this morning, and its aftershocks were as well. It was a 4.8 magnitude quake. Check out this new video from the camera on the Statue of Liberty. You can see the vibrations on the New York City skyline as well, and from the top of Lady Liberty's torch. Now, we took calls from viewers in all corners of the region today, from Old Forge to Oneonta and everywhere in between, that they felt the earth move and wanted to know what was going on. Again, felt in much of the Northeast, from New York City and all the way down to Washington, D.C., and even further. Well, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, the quake was the third largest recorded in the area in the last 50 years. Jen Sullivan is in New York with details on what people felt and what scientists are saying about the earthquake.
A rare earthquake rattling parts of the Northeast Friday morning. People around the New York tri-state area receiving this alert on their phones just before 10:30 a.m., warning them of an earthquake and to stay indoors.
It was a little unnerving.
I was sitting on the sofa and I felt like this almost rocking sensation.
This earth cam capturing the skyline of New York City violently shaking. It turned out to be a 4.8 magnitude earthquake. The epicenter near Lebanon, New Jersey, less than 50 miles west of New York City. But tremors could be felt as far north as Maine and as far south as Washington, D.C.
Once an earthquake happens, the waves just travel very efficiently through the crust back east.
The U.S. Geological Survey says more than 23 million people felt light shaking. Nearly 300,000 felt moderate shaking, and 9,000 felt strong shaking, powerful enough to move heavy furniture. Fortunately, no severe damage or injuries were reported, but there were concerns about infrastructure issues in New York City.
We are putting on additional construction and engineering professionals from this point on over the weekend. So if reports do come in, we will be ready to respond.
The earthquake temporarily halting air travel at New York's JFK Airport and Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey, according to the FAA. Now there are concerns about aftershocks.
Typically those aftershocks are smaller, but there is a chance that we could trigger a larger earthquake here.
In New York, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Hey everyone, we're continuing to keep an eye on the forecast for Monday and also how the weekend is playing out. But let's start with some of the updates here. We're continuing to keep an eye on some high clouds that'll spill in Monday afternoon. We don't think these will stop many of us from seeing the total solar eclipse moving across central New York Monday afternoon. For those of you that are looking to get out and just do something this weekend, it's been a very indoor week here in terms of the weather, clouds, showers, Those continue through Saturday, but Sunday is looking better. The wind drops off. We should see some sunshine and warmer temperatures. And again, we'll continue to keep an eye on the cloud cover forecast heading into Monday. Tonight, snow showers, overnight lows drop into the upper 30s. It's still windy overnight. Again, Saturday, the weather continues to stay unsettled, but we do have some more spring-like weather ahead. A look at the forecast coming up.
Bill, thanks. New York State Police Troop D has a new...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking unsettled weather that spills into the start of the weekend. More of the same tomorrow. Clouds, showers, breezy conditions, and chilly weather with highs only in the 40s. But the weather does improve on Sunday. High pressure builds in. That should give us some sunshine, less wind with a high temperature near 50. Our weather continues to be driven by low pressure off the Atlantic coast. This storm has stalled. It's gotten cut off from the jet stream. We call it a cutoff storm because it just doesn't move. And this system will be in place for Saturday. It is in the process of weakening, so we'll see less clouds and showers with this as we head into tomorrow, but it's still going to be similar to the past couple of days. Our Storm Tracker 2 Skycast shows a few lingering snow showers around tonight. Overnight lows drop into the low 30s. I'm not expecting much snow accumulation overnight. On Saturday, again, on and off rain and snow showers, breezy, chilly temperatures in the low 40s at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, not much improvement tomorrow. We might see a few breaks in the overcast late in the day. A chance to dry out Saturday night. And as high pressure builds in for Sunday, that's when the weather improves. We start out in the low 30s in the morning. We're expecting high temperatures on Sunday to reach 50 degrees with, again, less wind and some opportunities for sunshine. Sunshine looks to last into Monday. This is a look at the cloud cover forecast for the much anticipated solar eclipse. Again, this is the path of totality. Areas across northern Oneida County and northern Herkimer County expected to be in that path of totality. Here's the timeline on Monday for the solar eclipse. It begins at just after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when the moon's shadow starts to cover the sun. The maximum eclipse is around 3:25. For some of us in totality, that's going to mean complete darkness. But for those of you out of totality in areas like Utica and Cooperstown, it'll become very dim. The eclipse will come to an end as we head into the afternoon, officially ending around 4:25. Those of you in totality, while that's happening, it'll be around 3:25. Be on the lookout for stars in the sky in the middle of the afternoon. You should be able to see Venus, Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter while totality is taking place. Again, these are some locations in totality and roughly the times. These, by the way, you can always find this on our website, WKTV.com. Snow showers tonight, low temperature of 34. Tomorrow, again, another cloudy, unsettled day with high temperatures in the low to mid 40s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks nice Monday and Tuesday. In fact, it gets a lot warmer by Tuesday afternoon. High temperatures in the mid 60s, and it stays mild next week with rain chances returning Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Well, an earthquake in New Jersey was felt here in central New York this morning, and its aftershocks were as well. It was a 4.8 magnitude quake. Check out this new video from the camera on the Statue of Liberty. You can see vibrations on the New York City skyline and from the top of Lady Liberty's torch. Now, we took calls from Old Forge to Oneonta and everywhere in between up from folks in central New York that they too felt the earthquake. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the quake was the third largest recorded in the area in the last 50 years. Jen Sullivan is in New York with details on what people felt and what scientists are saying about the earthquake.
Earthquake rattling parts of the Northeast Friday morning. People around the New York tri-state area receiving this alert on their phones just before 10:30 a.m., warning them of an earthquake and to stay indoors.
This is a little unnerving.
I was sitting on the sofa and I felt like this almost rocking sensation.
This Earth cam capturing the skyline of New York City violently shaking. It turned out to be a 4.8 magnitude earthquake, the epicenter near Lebanon, New Jersey, less than 50 miles west of New York City. But tremors could be felt as far north as Maine and as far south as Washington, D.C.
Once an earthquake happens, the waves just travel very efficiently through the crust back east.
The U.S. Geological Survey says more than 23 million people felt light shaking. Nearly 300,000 felt moderate shaking and 9,000 felt strong shaking, powerful enough to move heavy furniture. Fortunately, no severe damage or injuries were reported, but there were concerns about infrastructure issues in New York City.
We are putting on additional construction and engineering professionals from this point on over the weekend. So if reports do come in, we will be ready to respond.
The earthquake temporarily halting air travel at New York's JFK Airport and Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey, according to the FAA. Now there are concerns about aftershocks.
Typically, those aftershocks are smaller, but there is a chance that we could trigger a larger earthquake here.
In New York, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Hey everyone, we're continuing to keep an eye on the forecast for Monday and also how the weekend is playing out. But let's start with some of the updates here. We're continuing to keep an eye on some high clouds that'll spill in Monday afternoon. But we don't think these will stop many of us from seeing the total solar eclipse moving across central New York Monday afternoon. For those of you that are looking to get out and just do something this weekend, it's been a very indoor week here in terms of the weather, clouds, showers. Those continue through Saturday, but Sunday is looking better. The wind drops off. We should see some sunshine and warmer temperatures. And again, we'll continue to keep an eye on the cloud cover forecast heading into Monday. Tonight, snow showers, overnight lows drop into the upper 30s. It's still windy overnight. Again, Saturday, the weather continues to stay unsettled, but we do have some more spring-like weather ahead. A look at the forecast coming up.
Thanks, Bill. New York State Police Troop D has...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking unsettled weather that spills into the start of the weekend. More of the same tomorrow. Clouds, showers, breezy conditions, and chilly weather with highs only in the 40s. But the weather does improve on Sunday. High pressure builds in. That should give us some sunshine, less wind with a high temperature near 50. Our weather continues to be driven by low pressure off the Atlantic coast. This storm has stalled. It's gotten cut off from the jet stream. We call it a cutoff storm because it just doesn't move. And this system will be in place for Saturday. It is in the process of weakening, so we'll see less clouds and showers with this as we head into tomorrow, but it's still going to be similar to the past couple of days. Our Storm Tracker 2 Skycast shows a few lingering snow showers around tonight. Overnight lows drop into the low 30s. I'm not expecting much snow accumulation overnight. On Saturday, again, on and off rain and snow showers, breezy, chilly temperatures in the low 40s at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, not much improvement tomorrow. We might see a few breaks in the overcast late in the day. A chance to dry out Saturday night. And as high pressure builds in for Sunday, that's when the weather improves. We start out in the low 30s in the morning. We're expecting high temperatures on Sunday to reach 50 degrees with, again, less wind and some opportunities for sunshine. Sunshine looks to last into Monday. This is a look at the cloud cover forecast for the much anticipated solar eclipse. Again, this is the path of totality. Areas across northern Oneida County and northern Herkimer County expected to be in that path of totality. Here's the timeline on Monday for the solar eclipse. It begins at just after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when the moon's shadow starts to cover the sun. The maximum eclipse is around 3:25. For some of us in totality, that's going to mean complete darkness. But for those of you out of totality, in areas like Utica and Cooperstown, it'll become very dim. The eclipse will come to an end as we head into the afternoon, officially ending around 4:25. Those of you in totality, while that's happening, it'll be around 3:25. Be on the lookout for stars in the sky in the middle of the afternoon. You should be able to see Venus, Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter while totality is taking place. Again, these are some locations in totality and roughly the times. These, by the way, you can always find this on our website, WKTV.com. Snow showers tonight, low temperature of 34. Tomorrow, again, another cloudy, unsettled day with high temperatures in the low to mid 40s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks nice Monday and Tuesday. In fact, it gets a lot warmer by Tuesday afternoon. High temperatures in the mid 60s, and it stays mild next week with rain chances returning Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.